Since its founding, Gdynia was considered a phenomena, both in the country as well as in the Baltic region. Modern and friendly, a city made of sea and dreams. Gdynia won the most attractive big city for business rating of the Forbes magazine. And it was Gdynia that has been chosen by the world-famous Rolls-Royce concern as a place for the modern maritime service and repair center of more than 2,000 square meters of space. Rolls-Royce Maritime Poland is a part of Rolls-Royce's maritime business sector, one of the biggest worldwide technology, vessel project, vessel equipment and integrated system solutions ship supplier. Rolls-Royce Marine Poland had only a single office in Gdynia since September 2000. On a leased for 30 years' time land of a space of 700 square meters and placed along Kontenerowa Street, Rolls-Royce Marine Poland will offer its Baltic region clients servicing of a large-scale vessel-oriented products of the Rolls-Royce concern, like the propulsion system. The building of the Service and Repair Center was inaugurated on the 26th of August 2010 by planting an oak tree to symbolize the high standards of services for many years and the stable development of the Rolls-Royce company in Poland. Today we are doing the groundwork, channeling for the floors. We are also doing the geodetics. When we finish that, we'll start digging and preparing the place to lay the foundations.
Pod stopy fundamentowe rozpoczniemy wykopy pod fundamentem.
It's been 22 days since the start of the construction work. So far the workers accomplished the main foundations. At this time, the reinforcements are being laid, and after that, concrete will be poured in. The concrete is just being poured into the main foundation forms. The concrete is being condensed by vibration when it's being poured in. The storm that went over Gdynia on the 28th and 29th of September caused some local flooding to the foundations. The foundations are now being cleaned from sand that came with water. It's now the 18th of October. The prefabricated construction is being put together. In order not to decrease the toughness of the concrete that's going to fill the space between the pillar and the goblet has to be thoroughly cleaned and dried. Operating the crane has to be safe. The operator has to know the place where he plans to put the crane before the operation starts. In this case, he needs to check how high can the machine pull the cargo without causing unnecessary problems. Today the assembly of the pillars has finished. In a moment, the land surveyor will set the perpendicularity of the pillars and concrete will fill the foundations. At this moment, the horizontal parts of the prefabricated elements are being assembled. The beam is assembled directly on the pillar. There are two stabilizing mandrels of 60 centimeters height. The beam is put on a rubber washer neoprene. We use neoprene to stabilize the joist in the housing. This material assures the right functioning of the construction. We begin to assemble the prefabricated ferro-concrete walls in the center of the building to divide the workshop from the offices. The walls are assembled on the previously done foundations, braced in the pillars by cables. A 512 rod is to be put and filled with high durability concrete. Despite the bad weather conditions, we start the assembly of the prefabricated ceiling. We are now putting concrete on the ferro-concrete ceiling, about 340 square meters. It's a filigrane type ceiling. Despite the weather conditions, on the 26th and 27th of November, we continue the construction work. At this moment, we are building the casing of the outer walls in a mold. This technology is called caisson plate. We are also building a trapezium-shaped, metal-shaped roof. We are now in a social part of the building. Today we are laying down the reinforcements before filling the floor with concrete. It's going to be finished this week. We are now on the first floor. This part of the building is going to be the office space. You can see the frames for the plaster boards. Those boards will divide the social rooms and the kitchen. Thanks to the good weather conditions, we started to lay the concrete floor. It's the floor of the social room, kitchen, dining room and the main entrance to the building. On the ground floor, we are finishing the work on the plaster boards that divide the rooms. We are also doing the plumbing. We are now at the northern part of the building. The shape of the facade case, rookie, is being made. Today the work is on the main factory floor. The floor characteristic is high bearing capacity. The gradings have been done and we are waiting for the final leveling to finish the floor. On February the 1st, 2011, we started working on the floors. The jointless concrete plate needs to take about 2 weeks before we can put the 2 cm resin layer.
Znajdujemy się w części biurowej na...
We are now at the office part of the building on the first floor. We are finishing the ceiling and assembling the vent and electrical installation. The double-layered floor is 90% done, and for now we are waiting for the door components.
W kolejnym etapie prac przystąpimy do...
The next stop is laying the tiles in the toilets and kitchen and painting walls.
malowania ścian.
On the 25th of March, the works is almost done. For now we have finished work in the toilets. The carpeting has been laid, secured with foil. Some decorating is still in progress. On the 15th of February, the winter has struck again. The temperature reached from 10 to 12 centigrades below zero. We are assembling facade casings rookie. The factory floor has been finished last week. We have secured it with foil, and tomorrow we will start assembling the gantry rods. Today we started to assemble the gantry. The span of the gantry is 18 meters and 20 centimeters. There are two carts of the gantry, one of a 30-ton carry weight and the other of a 15-ton carry weight.
Pierwsza próba postawienia suwnicy zakończyła się niepowodzeniem.
The first test of the gantry was unsuccessful. We moved the ceiling and slightly moved the crane.
Dachem a belką podsuwnicową. Suwnica pełni rolę dźwigu.
The gantry is a mobile crane. Its purpose is to move the cargo throughout the warehouse.
Na głównej hali warsztatowej prowadzone są prace szlifierskie i
We are impregnating the concrete floor after polishing. It will protect that floor from dust. We should finish the work on that on Friday this week.
tak tego tygodnia. Obecnie trwają prace związane...
We are working on the electrical installations. We are connecting every switchgear and socket and every other device that uses electricity.
Kończymy wykonywać okładziny ceramiczne w myjni. Oprócz tego
We are finishing the ceramic cladding and the wash. A welding shop is being made. We are finishing the ventilation systems in the wash.
związane z wentylacją. Tutaj dokładnie chodzi o pomieszczenie myjni.
Na zewnątrz rozpoczęliśmy
Last week we started laying the sidewalks and building the roads to the factory.
jak widać za moim...
As you can see behind me, we started laying the asphalt.
Kończyliśmy roboty budowlane.
We finished the construction work on the Rolls-Royce compound. Today we will have a test for the gantry and crane. The gantry will be tested with dynamic and static load. We are now preparing to test the gantry with a 37.5-ton load. When testing the gantry with dynamic load, we use a load of 110% of the nominal weight of the gantry. The test is simple. We move the load left and right, move it up and down, and have a sudden stop of the load. There are electronic devices that measure the weight of each load. When doing the static test, we put a load of 125% of the nominal weight. The load is in one place, and we check how the gantry works with the load in one place. The modern maritime service and repair center of an area of 2,000 square meters meets the highest standards of the Rolls-Royce company. To build it, we used about 850 cubic meters of concrete, 53 tons of steel, and about 6.5 kilometers of cable. The workshop part with the 30-ton gantry, technical and social compartments were built by more than 20 subcontractors for 256 days. Today, Rolls-Royce Marine Poland Service Department employs 50 workers, 41 highly qualified service engineers. In the future, more and more people will find work in the new service and repair center. The localization of the Rolls-Royce Marine Poland near the Gdynia port can make expansion of services possible for Poland and neighboring countries.